Welcome to Shark Week on Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Dinoshark. Dinoshark season is officially open.
Written by Francis Dole and Guy Prevost, directed by Kevin O'Neill, starring Eric Balfour and Iva Hasperger, Dinoshark is about a little baby dinoshark that is released from its iceberg prison due to global warming. It then grows up to be an adult dinoshark that swims down to Mexico and kills all the locals and tourists. What do we like about this movie, guys?
I loved the Dinoshark. Both the CG Dinoshark and the practical puppet Dinoshark head they had. It looked a lot like Godzilla, like the Matthew Broderick Godzilla. This was like a badass shark.
As far as the production value of this film was concerned, I think everything was pretty solid. The cinematography was very well done. We had a lot of cool locations. They used a lot of different sets, which was nice. There was lots of boats. I don't think they CG'd too many of the water scenes at all. They even had an infinity pool. That means it's ballin' as fuck.
What I liked about this movie was we saw some blood and guts. Now, for a TV shark movie, you don't usually see that. Usually it's just a little cloud of blood in the water, and then we move on. But this time we saw some bodies that were ripped in half, people got killed, and then we saw the result of being killed. So that was nice.
This is gonna be a segue into our dislikes, but I liked how bad this movie was, because it was bad, but it was funny and we were cracking up the whole time because of how shitty and how off the ADR was and a bunch of shit that we're going to talk to in just a minute. 4 seconds from now.
What didn't we like about this film, guys?
I didn't like the shoddy ADR in this movie. That's additional dialogue recording. Everybody recorded their vocals in a vocal booth afterwards and they just laid it on top very poorly. It made it sound like an anime the entire time.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Check out the bow. I got back here. What was that?
Up here, man. I can't see it.
If we're going to talk about the production value, I want to take a shot at the fact that during the chase scene in the boat with the shark through the canal, it was like the same shot over and over again. It was very noticeable.
The complete opposite of that is they put in a bunch of scenes that didn't need to happen. So we got a couple that goes kayaking, a family that stops for water. We got Roger Corman who tells the band to lower it down a little. So there was a lot of filler in this movie to really pad it out.
Our main cast knew what was going on. They didn't need to go and talk to Roger Corman at all.
Yeah.
Aside from giving him like an extended cameo because he was a producer, he didn't need to be in this.
Actually, I felt a lot of the characters is what bugged me about this film because they either didn't need to be in it or their role was so insignificant that I didn't care about any of them. Steve, yeah, we saw him at the bar. I didn't care who he was.
But he was cool.
He had an infinity pool, John. Didn't you hear me talk about that in the last segment?
But every single character in this film I felt was poorly developed. None of them had motives. Like, I didn't really get any of the characters.
There's that main blonde chick, who I don't remember her name, who had a water polo game that was very important, and an event that they couldn't stop. The acting was okay for this style of movie, so don't take anything personal, guys. But most of you didn't need to exist.
It's not you as a person, it's your character in this film.
It was just the story and the development of the characters. Shark movies, you're going to have that they're released or mutated and then they attack a coast. So the story's not going to be very original, regardless of what you combine the shark with, what new powers the shark has, how many heads it has. It's all going to be the same story.
And a lot of people did die in this movie. I would say probably 11. But a lot of it was big puffs of smoke in the water, which we do see in a lot of shark films. But there wasn't enough uniqueness to it. We saw the shark jump out of the water, grab something kind of like a killer whale or something, just kind of doing a splash.
Oh, and how to kill the shark. They built up that rocket launcher so much, they didn't even use it. I don't care what kind of armor this shark has for skin. If you put it into its mouth and in its stomach, it's gonna blow up.
I decided that water polo, played by little girls, is not an exciting sport. We expected it to be on jet skis.
They apparently cut off an entire canal that people use all the time to ship supplies. They're like, oh, we need to close it down. Big water polo game. It took up the spot of a very small boat.
It's time for our final thoughts and ratings. What I liked about this movie was that we sat down and actually had fun watching it. We got to crack jokes and just goof all the way through it, which was what we really liked doing back in the day with, crappy B movies. And this allowed us to do it. There was so much wrong about it that we could laugh about it. But if you're gonna watch it alone, you're gonna have a bad time. There's no story, the characters were underdeveloped, the shark wasn't that cool, the kills weren't cool, there's just a lot going wrong. So I'm gonna give this 1, we're gonna need a bigger chopper out of 5.
For a shark movie, this was still below average. Usually you want to have cool deaths, or even just bikini-clad babes on the beach making out. The shark was cool, but we didn't have any great characters. I didn't even know the main girl's name in this movie, who I think is Carla.
Carol.
Honestly, it's not a great film. We did have fun and we did crack jokes because we didn't care about any of the dialogue. Regardless, I'm gonna give this 1 research website that makes me really horny out of 5.
This film is definitely on the lower scale when it comes to shark movies. There is nothing I could really say I liked about this other than I thought the shark looked kinda cool. I hated all these characters. The development was brutal. The story wasn't interesting. So I'm not recommending this for you to watch. So that being said, I'm giving this 1 pre-GoPro POV parasailing shots out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and don't comment. We have enough shark movies to watch this week. Come back tomorrow and watch more Shark Week with Bloodbath and Beyond.
It's Sharktacular.
Oh, and right now, the What Would You Do is on the channel, so also watch that. It's much better than this review.